Single dad woke up after a hangover to find a woman in his kitchen. What she said left him frozen. The first thing Ethan registered was the stabbing headache pulsing through his skull, followed by the metallic taste of regret coating his mouth. But none of that compared to the shock that hit him when he staggered into the kitchen, blinking through the blur, and saw a woman standing there, calm, composed, as if she belonged in his broken little world. And before he could even ask who she was or what she wanted, she whispered something that made his entire body lock in place, his breath freezing midair, his heart thundering like a warning he wasn't prepared for. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that touch the soul, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to KHstories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Ethan was a single father of a 7-year-old girl named Lily, whose entire universe revolved around him even when he felt he didn't deserve it. Life had not been gentle with him. After losing his wife in a car accident 3 years earlier, he had spiraled into exhaustion, guilt, and loneliness. He worked 2 jobs, barely slept, and on the nights when the emptiness grew too loud, he numbed himself with cheap whiskey until the memories faded. Except they never truly did. They circled him like shadows, waiting for the moments he was weakest. And last night had been one of those moments. The house was a mess. Bottles, clothes, scattered toys, the faint smell of stale alcohol and sorrow. But the woman in his kitchen didn't flinch. She moved with the ease of someone who'd already accepted the chaos she found. Her gentle face, framed by shoulder-length dark hair, was softened by the morning light coming through the window. She was wearing a nurse's uniform, and for a moment Ethan wondered if he had hurt himself, or worse, if something had happened to Lily. But the quiet steadiness in the woman's eyes didn't match emergency or panic. It matched something else, something heavier. She said her name was Sarah, and she was a social worker who had come by early because Lily hadn't been dropped off at school. The school had tried calling Ethan, but his phone had been dead, lying somewhere under the couch. When she arrived and knocked for several minutes with no answer, Lily had eventually opened the door herself, worry etched across her small face. And that's when Sarah entered the home and found a father passed out on the living room floor, still clutching the bottle he swore he would never touch again. As she explained all this, Ethan felt shame blanch his skin. He could barely process her words. He kept glancing toward Lily's empty room, terrified that something worse had happened, terrified of losing the only person who made his life worth fighting for. He tried to remember details from the night before, but everything was a fog of pain and noise. The only thing clear was the realization that he had failed, and Lily had witnessed it. Sarah didn't come to punish him. She came because she was worried. But in her next breath, she said something that hollowed him from the inside. "Ethan, this can't continue. Not just for you, but for her." And suddenly, he saw his life from an outsider's eyes. A home collapsing under grief. A child quietly carrying burdens she never asked for, and a man who kept promising tomorrow would be better while sinking deeper into yesterday's wounds. He expected anger or judgment but found none. Sarah stood there, offering him honesty and a chance to step back into the father he once was. She told him he wasn't alone, that help existed if he wanted it, and that even the strongest people sometimes shattered, but healing wasn't impossible. Her presence felt like a mirror held up to his brokenness, but also a hand reaching through the cracks. Ethan decided he had 2 choices. He could continue down the same road until he lost everything, or he could claw his way back, even if it hurt, even if it meant confronting every memory he had tried to drown. And for the first time in months, he chose the second. The following days were a storm of guilt and effort. Ethan apologized to Lily with a sincerity that made her small eyes shimmer. She hugged him with the forgiving heart only a child could possess, holding him tighter than he expected. He cleaned the house from top to bottom, throwing out every trace of the life he didn't want anymore. He attended